Well, welcome to another episode of UK Karate Podcast. I'm Chris Walsh. I have Sean Cassidy with us today, and we're very fortunate to have Martin Buchstaller from JKA, Germany.
Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate to be here.
No problem.
And how are you doing? You've had a bit of a trek. You've come all the way from Germany, and you've had a very interesting
we
journey.
both were talking on the phone. There are modern ways like Zoom, but you know, I'm still paid by my company, but I saved the money, so I'm free in traveling, and I loved to use the tunnel.
Okay.
And it was really great till London, and then I got a extreme car crash with all the airbags going out, but nobody's injured.
Oh, fantastic.
And then a wonder happened. 50 phone calls. It took 8 hours to tow my car, full electric car, 8 hours. So I was in a hotel this morning at 6 o'clock. So you see, I got a lot of French cream in my face. No, nobody's injured. Yeah. That's the most important.
Yeah, at least it didn't set on fire either.
Well,
keep setting on fire, don't they?
Well, thank you again so much. After even after all that,
I love being in England.
Okay.
I love traveling. I love being in England.
Have you got any favourite places in England?
In former times it were the pubs, but I stopped drinking 11 weeks ago. No, London is beautiful. I was 2 times for English lesson in Oxford. One time was my younger daughter to help her in school. Oxford is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I plan this and next year a couple of traveling up to Scotland then.
Yes, I mean Scotland's a beautiful country. I lived up there for 10 years, and I didn't see it. I wasted really because I never got to see all of it really. It was you won't be disappointed having a trip around there.
But I have to visit also a lot of cities in England too.
Yeah.
So I've got time now, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I obviously see from social media and stuff that you fly planes as well?
Yeah. I was flying gliders when I was a young kid, starting with 14, because my father said you are allowed, my brother not, because my brother's not afraid of anything. I was afraid as a young guy. And he said, if you make a mistake on the car, doesn't matter. If you make a mistake up there, you die.
Yeah.
So I was flying gliders till 21. I stopped it because of karate, because I totally concentrated on karate, because I started very late, was 21. And 2014, my famous uncle, he passed away by brain cancer very suddenly. And I was sitting in front of my laptop and I thought, why waiting on dreams? And there's a famous flight instructor in the US who says, if you've ever been a pilot and you hear the sound of the engine, you will look up to the sky all your life. That's right. So I went into the computer, and it's crazy paperwork because the terrorists, 9/11, they came from Florida, from the school there. And I made my pilot license there. It was a great adventure. And meanwhile, there are a lot of things that fits to karate.
Yeah.
Because it's responsibility and it's also fun. A lot of fun.
Was that a long process to get that?
The flying, not. I just grew up on the airport. Every weekend I took my bicycle and go to the Glide airport. And my father was flying too. So the first time I
so you had a bit of an in that way.
I got the virus very early. But I was afraid as a kid, very much afraid. But flying, especially in the States, it's beautiful in Europe, but in the States it's more free. You can go down on big airports. They support you. You have no landing fee in the States.
Okay.
In Germany, you pay a lot. And it's just, pilots are usually cool people. Not all, usually cool people. It's nice.
Do you have a big flying jacket with the fur and everything?
In this book from Rod Machado stands, there are 2 things you don't need as a pilot: the big watch and the jacket.
The jacket.
What about the sunglasses?
Yeah, of course. I have a couple of sunglasses. Yes, you know, I'm nearly 64, so I have to do something to look cool. My daughters say I'm looking stupid, so.
So where did karate first begin for you?
Short story before. When I was 12 years, I was very thin, and my father said, you have to make sports. And he's one of the few people I really listened to. And I started swimming. We were not allowed to box because my father was a boxer. So I started judo till 21, and I organized a judo course in the school. And I met one of my best friends. He was doing karate. He was brown belt. And so I met my first teacher. And we trained together 2 times. And he said to me, "You have talent." And I said, "I'd never heard that word before." I said, what do you mean? And then as a white belt, we trained very intensive, face-to-face, 2 people only. He was not so elegant, but he was a real fighter. He was fighting with Hell Angels and so on. And I remember before yellow belt, he took me 2 hours and he hit me in the legs and this and this and this. And I passed the yellow belt. And I remember one of the lessons, maybe after 4 or 5 months, I was really well trained, weightlifting, running, not drinking that time, not smoking that time. Sometimes I smoke, sorry, not good. And I was really done after the training. I couldn't do any more. And he was doing push-ups at the end. And I left on my arms, and he took my hair and put me in the middle. "You stay." Because he knew, he was very good on emotional things. He knew that I can handle this. That was the beginning. And then he said, there are 2 things you may like. One is there's an instructor called Ochi, and he's giving weekend seminars. And I was at the first Ochi seminar, and after that, it was 65,000 kilometers in the first 9 months on Ochi seminars, every weekend. All the money, I had not so much money. Always when I had 1 day mark, I spent 2. But I loved it. I really loved it. I loved Ochi Sensei's way of teaching. And then there was a second seminar. It's called Eugen Müller. He was in the German squad in the 70s. And he's making a seminar 1 time a year in July called Juli Hatz. And it's 1 week, maximum 35 people, karate, weightlifting, karate, makiwara, and sandbag. And after 2 days, weightlifting off, and then running and hill up running. So you do it at 5, that time was 6, later 5 days. You're totally done after that.
Yeah.
Very much friendship, deep and good karateka. You were allowed to start as 4th kyo. I started as 5th kyo, and my instructor, the second one, lied to Eugen. He said he's 4th kyo. And I did that the last 6 times, last 6 years, till Eugen, he's still alive. He's now at the same age like Ochi, till he had a terrible bicycle accident. And he was still teaching at the University of Karlsruhe, but no more Juliats. I tried to start Juliats again, but the interest was not that big.
It sounds a very intimate, like a seminar with only 35 people. Is there a reason for that?
35 people?
Yeah, could they have had like 100, 200? Or is that the whole point of it?
Eugen was, his whole life, he was a teacher.
Yeah.
So he was a real pedagogic in English, is that right?
Like pedigree, like really good.
Yeah. And he said, no, I have to take care of the people. If you have a big group, you can do seminars.
So he can focus his attention.
You can focus on the people. Yeah. Also, you got more friendship. It's an intense group feeling, like a squad. When you teach a squad, you're a smaller group, and you can go more to the individuals.
Yeah. It was what was when you first started? What was it like training in the dojo like back then? Was there many kids, or was it mainly adults? Or?
At that time, we were mainly adults. Jürgen was a very tough teacher, was really tough. And one thing, for example, when the training was over, we used to go for beer or soda, and nobody was allowed to drink before the last one came from the shower. So we all waited. So He was very strict on that. He left us after 1 year because of personal things, car accident, and so on. And after 3 years, I went to Ludwigshafen to a very famous instructor at that time, little crazy guy, but one of the best fighters that time, and all the junior squad team nearly was at him in Ludwigshafen. So I passed Shodan, and our chief instructor said, no, I don't want any more, too much work. And I sat together with a friend, what we do, and we started with 55 members, and after 1 year we were 185. It was an easy time.
Yeah.
Okay, I did what I know, marketing. Everybody got to talk with me if they want or not.
Yeah.
Then we built up a kids group, juniors group. We divided, so one group up to white, yellow, one orange, green, and one purple and above.
Yeah.
And I think after 6 years, we trained 1 year under the week. Tuesday normal training, Thursday kata, Friday normal training, and then with the small team on Sundays running, karate, and weightlifting for 1 year. And after 1 year, we won the German Juniors Committee Team Championship. And the same time, I made the German education for instructor from the official Sportbund, what is the Sport Federation.
Okay.
So that was good to bring the planning of a training year into reality, to test it. Does that work?
And what was it? Well, I mean, obviously, when you passed your Shodan, I mean, that must have been a
It was
occasion.
very fast. It was after 3 years because I kept on driving to all the seminars.
Yeah.
The Shodan was nice, but better was the Nidan
Yeah.
because it didn't pass.
Okay.
So 2 years after Shodan, I trained still a lot. I did Juliats and Gashuku in a row, so 2 weeks in a row, and I was not as good as on Shodan.
Okay.
So I felt that was even better for myself. So I waited another 3 years, went to Nidan again. Yeah. And then I think the greatest move in karate, or the first big move was then, because we were in Munich and Ochi-sensei asked my girlfriend, you have to compete in Philadelphia at the World Championship, but you have to come to my dojo to train. And she said, I live far away, I can't go. And I asked Ochi-sensei, may I come? Oh, please come, please come. So then I drove 2 years in a row, two times a week, 350 kilometers to Bottrop to training and 350 kilometers back, sometimes sleeping on the parking place at night. And one day he asked me, you have to compete in Philadelphia. And when I was a white belt, I said, my second teacher, yellow belt, I said to Dieter, I want to come to the German squad. And he said, Martin, you're okay, but you're totally crazy. You're 21, you're a yellow belt. Come on, forget it. And I got it with 32.
Yeah.
And that was a real big gift. The next gift was after Philadelphia, 1 year later, because in the team for Philadelphia, I don't know the English word for that. I was the playing ball for the good ones.
Okay, yeah.
One of my good friends, Detlef, we made Kumite Shiai, and it was just Meikizami. And he hit me so hard. He hit me so hard just here. It was not about the pain. It was only to look if I react. And it hurt so much. And I just keep the poker face, keep the poker face. Damn, keep the poker face. It was the last time the German Kumite team was really tough. We were second. Michael got a real hard hit by... We beat Japan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because they looked, oh, damn, they have 1 underpoint more. And then we lost against Sweden because Michael was totally down, but Enueda gave the other one only Chui.
Yeah.
After the fight, Michael was sitting on the floor, who I am, where I am. So I went with him to the hospital, but everything went out good.
Yeah. It must. I mean, what a great honor to be able to go out to get the nod for like Philadelphia though, and be there and be part of it. Did that being out there? Did that really open your eyes up to? I want to do some more of this.
Yes, and also it was always a challenge. I mean, in the preparation, Ochi-sensei had no time to do the preparation. So my very good friend Jörg Royce, who was former World Cup champion, European champion, Kumite Shiai, Jörg taught us. He got all his power inside, and he's a beautiful instructor. Very sad that the federation's not using him. Now he has Parkinson, and he's teaching Parkinson group. He's a very strong mind, very good, but a very kind guy. And the Kata people had to do both trainings, Kumite and Kata. The Kumite people only the Kumite training. So we had like 6-7 hours training a day. But they were smiling at us, Kata people. Kata people. That was always a challenge to get out, because before in my club, I was always the kumite guy. So usually I felt like doing kumite.
Yeah.
But I'm a small, shy guy, and all these tall guys like Detlef or Michael Ehrenreich, who's living now in the States. I'm going to visit him in 3 weeks. These were tough guys, but nice guys.
And would you say like even obviously back then when you were competing, and even in the dojo, the whole culture was pretty tough, like back then?
Tough and fair.
Yeah.
Tough and fair. Also, Japan was different. It was tougher than today. They were not that friendly like they are. They were friendly, but not that friendly. It was tougher, but I wouldn't say tougher.
In comparison in comparison to today.
Yeah.
Like what would you say that like karate in Germany is like now? Is it very different?
There are a couple.
Very different.
So it's big. A lot of 3 federations. What is a mess? So I hope we find an umbrella or some way to get closer together, because we're different families. Why can't families be friends?
Seems to be more and more common.
Yeah.
Coming that, doesn't it?
It's about ego. It's about money.
Yeah.
It's about politics.
Yeah. It's who's in charge, isn't it?
Right. But the federation's big. When I was president, we were 22,000. Now they lost a lot because they did nothing through COVID time.
Which brings me, well, really with COVID, you obviously you stepped up and made the karate at home page, and which then brought training, to the world, really.
600 days live streaming day by day.
Yeah.
Every night looking for instructors. And learned, I met so beautiful people, doesn't matter what federation they are from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that opened everybody's eyes to not just in your bubble, is there? You haven't just got karate in your own circle. There's karate elsewhere. There's so much top instructors everywhere. There's so much good karateka everywhere that it's providing opportunities now to, opening doors to people to go and train.
And there are good and bad people everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It was a gift. I mean.
How did the idea first spark? Though, obviously,
that's a funny story. I was in Japan before, in February 2020. I went to Japan because I wanted to prepare for the 6th Dan test. And I went to Japan, and the dojo was closed for foreigners because COVID was already there.
Right.
So I had a beautiful week. I walked like 25.
So you didn't find that out until you got to the door?
Yeah, I thought it's open, and suddenly it was closed. Right. So I made like 25 to 30,000 steps a day, not by sport, just by looking. And I was now 33 times in Japan. That time maybe 22 or 23. So I knew a lot, but every time you come there, you see something new. Yeah, and I have a small translator. I make no advertisement, but it's a special one with a SIM card. So it got a very good system behind it. Yeah. And for the first time, I could look what is on 2nd and 3rd floor, because you make a picture and you know what is there. So I came back. When I flew back, it was a 747 Boeing. We were 5 people in the plane, plus the crew.
That was it?
That's it.
Wow.
And I came back, and it was right before the pandemic. And, crazy old guys, I had the idea, we have to do something. Do something. That's what I posted first. And I just put one class online. And then in the next morning, Nadja called me. Nadja was a former student from me in the national junior squad. She lived in New York, and she was marketing manager for the US for lady stuff. And she said, that's a great thing. Let's do something. I said, Nadja, what do you mean? Oh, come on. I do the marketing, you do sales. That's clever, She do a few work, I had a lot of work. No, that was a perfect combination. We had never stress. Always beautiful. And then I called Richard, the today president
of the
Czech Republic.
Yes, yes. He seems like a lovely guy.
Yeah. And then I called Jean-Pierre from France, and so it worked on. And then I got contact to Emanuele and Giovanni, to 5 times European champion Kata team in Frankfurt, and they gave me a lot of contacts like Ray Teo, Don Sharp. And so phone by phone. So I worked the day for Volkswagen. I stopped working very early, 5:45. 5:10 announced the class. During the class, in the beginning, we also said bye-bye, then eat something, and then I went on Messenger with my translator until 3:00 in the night, slept till 6, and then the day went. But it was so lovely. And I remember one thing, I contact Lyoto Machida. And I told Ray, and Ray said, you can't contact, how? Because usually he's a professional, he's expensive. He was very normal. He said, yes, I help. Yes, I do. His brother too. And nearly everybody, the only one who didn't want, they didn't react. That's okay. But like Richard Amos, Scott Langley, Ota Sensei. Ota Sensei was the only Japanese instructor, because usually they have problems, but it was really in the beginning, so he helped a lot. Yeah. He had 650 students live. Yeah. We always count live, and then we count how many people look later. That's usually 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. But the most beautiful thing on karate at home, during all that work, that positive feedback, because the rules were good. We founded good rules. No politics. Your federation, your family, mine's mine, let's be friends.
It works a lot smoother, doesn't it? Yeah.
Only positive comments, non-profit. Yeah. If you have a bad comment, I delete it. If you have something to complain, call me 24 hours, you get a call back. No problem. Because there are some crazy people in martial arts sometimes.
Just one or two.
Yeah, one or two, maybe. But the feedback was so positive. It was so great, positive. And the greatest gift was people met during and after the pandemic. I was teaching 2020. I was invited by Richard for Czech Gashuku. I was in Tanzania. I was in Cuba on my cost. I said, Tanzania, Cuba is a gift, social gift. I always wanted to do something social because I got so much good things coming to me in my life. I know that one lady from Germany, she went to Africa. And this will be my big travel this year. I'll tell you later. I'm going to make a world trip and visit a lot of instructors. And that's beautiful to see how digital friendship comes to reality.
Yeah, it's a great networking tool.
That's great.
Did you have any, was there anyone else trying to do the same thing? Did you have any competition?
Yeah. There were a couple of others.
I
got a problem with names. We cooperating. We're doing the same thing. Only if they try to copy our format, we say, please do your own. And very in the beginning, I went to the German office, and I registered the brand. So the brand is officially registered. It got a registration number. It's not for money, but we just also, Nadja as a marketing specialist.
You wanted it to work. You wanted it to be safe.
We wanted to keep the brand.
Yeah.
And that's what we see right now. We didn't do something for a couple of years because I was, severe sick. I was really severe sick in 25 with a couple in different hospitals. And now we started again and boom, very fast. Now people write me, are the certificates available again?
Yeah.
Now I finally got the design for the T-shirt. You know, I tell you a secret. In the front, it's going to be very traditional. In the back, it's manga.
Okay.
I love manga. Modern, fancy. We need young people. We need more young people. Good people are good. One thing, I had a good discussion with Hirayama Sensei, a very good friend of mine. And so many federations are splitting because of ego, politics, money.
Yeah.
If you got no pension, maybe you leave. That's what in Japan happened. And I said, if people getting old, give them one more star on the shoulder. Give them even a better hotel. Take them as advisors. Keep them in the federation, but keep them out of decisions.
Yeah.
That's very difficult because it's not so human. It's also difficult in industry. But we should have the goal to do that. Keep the group together. We are such a small group in traditional karate. And we have so much to give. And Ochi Sensei said, we build up karate as a lifelong martial art.
Yeah.
You can start as a kid, but you won't fight with the gloves with 70.
Yeah.
But you can do Goan Kumite with 70. You can do any kata. Maybe Geo Kumite on some people can do. So it's for all your life. It helps you through different periods. I mean, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're like what you're saying there. I mean, I always look at it as that. Yes, the much older instructors, you have all that like experience and not like knowledge there, but there has to be. I feel like
pass of the baton.
They're almost there has to be like the baton is passed to the younger generation while they're still quite young and like with the new and fresh ideas to help like you can still be you can still be traditional.
Absolutely.
And but yes, you just see so many. I've seen so many younger people leave. And just leave, and I say it all the time on here. It's just sad, and seeing all the different, all the different associations, different, whatever it may be. It would be nice to have it all. So you have like one tournament.
All karate consists of responsibility, of education, and of leadership.
Yeah.
And I had a talk with one of the German federations. He said everybody wants to get the national coach. Okay, why not? Not everybody can. So it's our responsibility to bring people up, to tell them, please wait. It's not easy sometimes how to tell them, please wait. You're not in the line, you have to wait. But not in the line because you're too young, not in the line because you need to grow more. And for example, the German Bundestrainer in football, Helmut Schön, who won the World Championship, he wasn't the best player. So it's not. A lot of instructors bringing the students up to here, then they stop them.
Yeah.
And then the students say, no, my goal is to bring them up. If the students is getting better for me, that's my greatest gift. I was in Japan and we with a young group long time ago, and we had dinner, and I paid for the dinner. And one of the guys said, oh, it's a different class, so he has big income or something. No, I said, that has nothing to do with that. I'm sitting here with you, the older generation. 10 years, you young students, you promise you do the same thing. That's karate. I give you give the next. You teach the next to give, the next give to the next. That's how we keep tradition. And I totally agree what you say, but we have to get modern. Naka-sensei just made a movie, a comics. So his technique with all the modern things. So you see like manga or comic, but it's we have to think about also new things.
Yes.
Otherwise, we lose.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I think like anything moves forward, doesn't it? Nothing's the same as it was 20 years ago. Karate, not just karate, anything.
But one thing, I think I find my personal goal at the age of 62, so 2 years ago. So I myself. Two things. So first I made a promise to make one kata for another 4 years, till the next grading, 4 or 5 years, only one kata every day. But the other thing is, and that's my absolute belief, every karateka should have one technique what is able to stop someone. And that can even be a girl, an old lady. If you do it a couple of thousand times, it is possible to hurt people and to stop the fight. If you're a fast runner at the age of 18, you can run. But, and this is the problem also of karate, we're getting too weak. This is why UFC in the States is so strong. People want to see the brutal fight. We don't have to be brutal, but a karateka should know what a makibara is. My wife, funny story, he went to Jörg, I told you before, the former World Cup champion. It was her first class. My wife is from Siberia. She studied in Cologne. She's speaking better German than I do. And she came back from the training and she had 10 bleeding knuckles. I said, Olga, what the hell happened? Oh, he had such a thing on his hand and he said, hit on it. You can't tell that to women coming from Siberia. So she hit. I said, Jörg, you're crazy. You can't do this. But Jörg, he's very kind, but sometimes in training he said, karate has to kill. I think not to kill, but every karateka should work on one technique to stop something. We have a lot of karateka. I wouldn't go with them through dark, let's say Birmingham or something, or Cologne, the wrong side of Cologne.
Yeah.
But that should not be. We should work on self-confidence and also on technique. When I train kids, I love, one of the greatest job Ochisense gave me was to build up the youth squad. That was just a gift. Because he said, Martin, not only training, please education. So I went in the morning and bought spaghetti, meat, all that. I cooked for them. We cleaned the showers together. Not I let them. We cleaned the showers together. We cleaned the dojo together. So it was education. When they were allowed in the evening, they always said, if you're allowed tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock running. Sometimes we did, sometimes not. But we built up a team and a real team spirit. And they all got good ways in their life later. So very, very good. And when I teach small kids, I stop the training and say, come on. And I say, Kiai. You know, I like kids to do Kiai. I say, no. The first thing when you're in the park,
Yeah.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing what we have to teach. When I see courses self-defense, it's a lot of bullshit because you need to do it 1,000 times till it works.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to get it in your head and in your back. But you can easily teach people self-confidence, and
that's the main thing. You've got to have it
in your heart.
You've got to have something
heart.
about you, haven't you?
In
or
Cologne,
even get it out of
right.
Build
In
it up.
Cologne, in my famous restaurant, it's a very fancy small restaurant. There's a lady. She's a painter. She has maybe 55 kilos, like this, gray hair, typical artist. And they tried to rip her 2 times. But she was so aggressive, shouting to them, disappear, go away, that nothing happened. Because she got a strong mind. And beside teaching the technique, that's our responsibility. Because we can help people to make the mind stronger. And that will help through all the life. Because I told you, I was 2006, I had blood in my head. Suddenly, nobody knew where from. I was in neurology. I was in hospital 6 weeks. My eyes were like this, wheelchair. They didn't know whether I make it. Then 1 year, I worked. I drove 6 o'clock in the morning with a train near Frankfurt. Drove back, take a taxi, go to the gym. 1 year, every day. Because I was not allowed to drive cars.
Okay.
Because
because of like epilepsy. Yeah.
Epilepsy. 1 year later, after that happened, I was in the final of the Shotokan Cup.
Nice.
And I warmed myself up and I was crying. Just crying. And that's, my mother just passed away.
Yes, I saw. Yeah.
I was sick last year, very sick, but the moment she felt, the moment they said she's going to pass away today or tomorrow, she made it 1 more week because she was
Strong,
very tough. The moment it made click, just do your job, take care. Father dementia, take care. So the valleys in life, they're tough, but they help the most.
And do you feel again that karate, the karate has given you that toughness to deal with?
Absolutely.
And obviously even like with your job, you've worked at some big companies. Do you feel like working at that height of business, that karate has helped you?
Absolutely. My father said when other people getting tired, you're just getting warm. So I have good condition. I don't know why. Maybe I think
it's a good phrase. That
from my mother, I think so. From my mother, but I never studied. I made Abitur, but I was too lazy to study, and I spent my money for karate. So I just washing cars, restaurant, all insurance, and then. The father of my best friend, he was a sales manager at a big car company. I started a junior salesman. I was the only one speaking English, so I could sell to the Americans, long story short. So it went very well. And there was a lot of fights because I myself have one problem. It's my problem. It's not the problem of others. It's my problem. I have really a problem accepting authorities because my father is a very tough authority. Okay. If the person in job, I respect the person, beautiful. I had so beautiful relationship with bosses. But if I don't respect them, there was always trouble. And meanwhile, I know the trouble was my fault because then I began to fight. You know? Because I have maybe, you know, as an old guy, I have a couple of values. So being equal, straight. I don't care about the stars on the shoulder, if someone is professor or not. Care about
someone's right with you, you're right with them.
Absolutely.
It's a human being. I don't care about the color. There are good and bad people everywhere.
But how do you deal with that though? Because like we know in karate, there lots of people care about the stripes.
Yes, I know.
Or the stars, or whatever we want to call it.
I made terrible experience and a lot of mistakes in karate politics for sure. Not as an instructor, that went all well, but in politics they made a lot of mistakes.
But for your job, how would you say that like karate has helped you? How would you say like within
you
your
know
job?
that you can do more. When you I always worked a lot, long times, and karate gives you the strength to go over everything. My personal thing is it's like a chair. You have four, how you call them in English? The chair is on four
legs.
4 legs.
Yeah.
If one leg is falling off, no problem. If 2 legs falling off, difficult. The legs can be karate. For me, it's karate. It's my family. It's my health. You know. Yeah. So 4 legs. If 3 legs broken, you're in severe problem.
Yeah.
And that's karate was always for me one very, very strong leg.
But did you ever think about stepping away from karate, you know, because of work pressures and things like that?
Never. There were periods I trained less, for sure.
Yeah.
There were periods I was lazy. You know, I loved Scotch whiskey, Belgian chocolate. There were periods training less. But that Juliards I talked to you before, that left something in my mind. So the restart was usually taking a plane, going to Japan, training 4 times a day, 6 days. You come back, it takes 3 to 4 days, you're down, and then, you know, hypercompensation, I think.
And how do you, because I know that you go obviously to Japan and train quite often to, I would say, a lot of people. How do you find, what does that bring to the table for you know, for going to Japan and training over there? And
so first, I love the culture. I love good food. I love good food. I love the cleanness. Mm-hmm. I saw things with a motorbike.
Spotless.
But the structure of the JKA, political wise, sometimes difficult, but the structure, educating young instructors and training today whole life, every day.
Yeah.
This changes everything because it's sundown up to Eki until he passed away. Every day that changes everything. And the good thing is you come in the first class in the morning and maybe they do maigiri. It's not tough, the training. It was tougher 10, 20 years ago. It's not tough, but it's repetition.
Yeah, repetition.
So you do the maigiri. Maybe the last instructor of the day did maigiri too. So maybe you got a couple of thousands a day. Mm-hmm. And I love that. A lot of people don't. I love it. Because I feel it. It changes. It changes. And very early, I started to combine. So if I go for karate in Japan, I go to shiatsu, or to a very tough Chinese massage, or to a hot bath. So I really tried to balance. Always looking where's the border, pushing the border forward. But not too far because
your body's your tool as well. You got to look after it, haven't you? Especially you're doing that thousands and thousands of repetitions. You know, you're gonna something's gonna give at some point.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I had one experience. You said, did I ever think of stopping? No, not stopping, but not training enough. And one thing was, I started doing maigiri in the sand, just maigiri. So first lift up the knee, 10 right, 10 left. Then maigiri, 10. And I did that, I don't know how long, for a couple of months, till 1,450 in a row. The funny thing is, I finished the 1,450. I was totally sweat. We had not a shower, we had a bath.
No.
And I couldn't.
You couldn't
lift my leg, and I hit my leg so much on the bath. That was, and my girlfriend, she was laughing like hell. But later, I was on a stage, and we were doing just normal maigiri. and the other one couldn't see it. Just boom.
Yeah. But again, that repetition, but that, I think that's the hardest part now with the younger generation, the young kids, is, I don't know, they want something.
It's quick results, isn't it? That repetition gives very good foundation.
Yeah.
Right, isn't it? And now it's no one's got time to do thousands of reps.
Or it's like the children find it boring.
I mean, if we combine modern training systems with traditional training, it is possible.
Yeah.
Not for everybody, because it's like in school. You can't bring the education the parents did not. And in Germany, for example, I don't know how it's in the UK. In Germany, a lot of people, fathers working, mothers working, kid is alone at home and playing on the iPad.
Yeah.
When we were young, we were out. We were always out. It was raining, we were out. We were playing. We were socializing by talking. Now they chat. You see people in the restaurants, 4 people in the restaurants, and everybody has a phone in front of him. There's a human being. There was, I don't know the movie, there was a movie, comics living on a planet. And the planet turns and they all roll down because they're so fat.
So,
I think we get a little bit like old Rome or Greece. We're right at the edge.
Yeah.
But if you have a good education, if the parents, I'm very, very happy about the mother of my kids. She's my best friend. I'm very sorry we divorced because I was always away for karate and job. But we're really best friends, and we got beautiful daughters. And the parents of Susanna, the mother of my daughters, they took care because they have their own job, so the family has to work. So it's a very close family. There's always fresh food, warm food, dress. It's a good education.
Yeah.
Little bit toughness, not too much.
Everything's going like there, but everything, I think, like there, like you're saying about the family education, everything's just moving, I think, so fast these days.
Yeah. Yeah, but on the other hand...
Yeah, the acceleration curve has gone.
Yeah, on the other hand, you see the hungry people, you see China. In China, some people, not everybody, they work 9-9-6, from 9 to 9 or 6 days. They're not talking about 35. And okay, that's maybe not good, it's a dictatorship, but it's a worldwide competition.
Yeah.
And we generations, or otherwise, after the big war, everything has to be built up. They grew a strong generation because they had to build up. They had to do it. There was nothing, no food. The house was destroyed. They had to build up. The head of Dubai, he said, my grandfather, he had a camel. My father had I think, Rolls-Royce, I'm driving Mercedes or something like that. I know that in some generations further, they're going to be on the camel again.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I think we have the chance in our, especially in Karate Do, especially in the way we do karate, to give people something to overcome that laziness. And I see it on my father. He's now very dementia. He had in his life only job. Now the job is gone. He worked till 77, and that's terrible, plus the dementia. But if you spread your thoughts, and my father, he told me, not too much, but he said one time, Martin, when you look at the mirror in the morning, okay, you're responsible for God, for your family, but first of all, you're responsible for yourself and all your life. It's true. Sometimes hurts. We say in Germany, Krone richten, when you make a mess, stand up in the morning.
Yeah.
But that's really important to teach people that, And on Karate at Home, Nadja took a kind of great pictures like Bruce Lee. Don't look for an easy life. Don't look for the strengths.
Well, that was, I mean, like with the Karate at Home, like giving some of the younger instructors a chance to teach on there.
Yeah. And they did a good job.
And I will thank you for giving me the chance to teach on there, because that pushed me out of my comfort zone.
Everybody was nervous. Me too.
Yeah.
You standing there.
I wasn't back training at that point, so I missed out on that.
I'm looking for instructors now. That's very great. We can make a deal now.
Yeah, more than happy to. Yeah.
Nadja, she is well educated. She studied in Germany and England and well educated. She lived in New York. She lived in Amsterdam. She's a lot younger than I think. She's a lady. So she's still 22. No, she's around about 40. Nadja always wanted to go on Zoom or something. I said, Nadja, no. Why? On Facebook, I have face-to-face. It's my decision if I sit on the couch and eat the chips, but it's my decision. On Zoom, I look what the other people do.
Yeah.
And I remembered that training, what I had with Jürgen as a white belt before the yellow belt. It was face-to-face. If you come to the dojo, a lot of people, this dojo is only 20 people. The best training is if you're alone with instructors or if you have a small group.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have the problem that the financial situation in dojos is hard.
Yeah.
And most of the dojos live by the kids. In Germany, 50% are kids. And they stay 2 years, they leave, you got discussions with the parents, and so on and so on. Yeah, the money, you have to pay the dojo, I understand. But on the other hand, small groups are a great gift.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking earlier. I mean, when we left the old association and started now, I mean, we were starting from scratch, weren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going from a club like around about 90, 100 people to like going back to like maybe
just us and our kids,
just us and our own children.
It's
going in the right direction. But you've got to. I've always found, like we were saying before, when I've organised like training seminars. I mean, you've seen the dojo. Like, it's not big, you know. If you had 30 people in there, that's going to be, very, very snug in there. But everybody that comes says that they prefer it that way.
Oh, you'd much rather train in there than in a sports centre.
But
with a big hall. Yeah.
But what I've learned in the last 2 years, and that led to my sickness last year, to my severe sickness. I had a dream and I wanted to fulfill it 2024. So I founded JKA Cologne with a small group, and I said, we're going to have an own dojo. So the first one I found was, it was okay, but then they wanted to have 15,000 euro down payment. I said, no, I won't do that. Then I found another thing, what was beautiful, old factory. And then I overinvested. So I built in a beautiful floor, was inside already, weightlifting room, cardio room, sauna for 30,000 euro, kitchen. When you come in, there was a big screen, it was Japanese music. It was just my dream. And I called a lot of friends. Richard from Czech Republic was for the opening, Fernando from Spain, Daniela from Spain, Dirk from Berlin, so on. Great opening. And then I said, okay, let's do one seminar a month and invite instructor. So every seminar was a loss. Maybe it was a little bit discrimination too, because some dojos never came. Why not sending people? But it was my fault. It was really my fault. I lost a huge amount of money, really huge amount of money. But you know, the last shirt has no pockets.
Yeah.
It took me hospital. It took me too much drinking. That's why I totally stopped. Maybe one day I drink a port wine or whiskey in the evening, but that's it. I really was at the point, and I say it here because that's my mind. I'm open.
Yeah.
I was in a point a couple of months ago where I decided myself two ways. Either I kill myself now by drinking, or I take the responsibility. I have a wife. My best friend is my ex-wife. I had still my mother, my father. I had two beautiful daughters, and I made the right decision. So I reduced the alcohol. It was only beer, but in the morning. So I reduced the alcohol. I went with my wife to Dubai for vacation. I reduced to one beer, and then I totally stopped. And then I trained again 5-6 days a week.
But don't you find the drink?
It was a deep valley, especially when the second hospital was a good one. The first hospital was, it was just against alcohol. And you met the people you don't want to meet, but they're all poor. Then the insurance said we won't pay anymore. So I went to work. Then they called me, we paid another 4 weeks. I said, you crazy, I'm working now. And I was standing in the morning in front of my rented car. I was like this. Because they gave me 6 different medicaments. So I looked for 6 different doctors. The 6th one was the right one. He said, throw everything away. I said,
Just masks the problem.
And I asked, shouldn't I reduce slowly? He said, no, throw it away. That was the right thing. That was the right thing. The right thing, plus then get rid of the alcohol. I'm not against alcohol. Everybody can drink. Why not sitting together and have a drink? Maybe 2. You can be drunk 1 time a month, maybe. But in a lot of karate situations, it's absolutely too much and extremely when you do it in front of children.
Yeah.
Plus, there are some people getting aggressive. When I'm drunk, I'm getting too kind. But
Some people switch.
Yeah. But you shouldn't do it in front of kids. No. You shouldn't do it in front of kids. And especially, I remember Shirai and Kase Sensei. The old.
Yes.
And they made seminars in Hamburg next to the French border. And they were guided by Italians. Too much. Ochi Sensei was always close. Always open-hearted. So open-hearted. I was traveling with Ochi Sensei through all Europe for 20 years. We had so many face-to-face discussions. Like my father. He really was like my father. But people used him. They gave him one more beer. I tried to give him an alcohol-free beer. More. I mean, we have responsibility. And we also, as students, have responsibility for our instructors.
Yeah. But in karate, though, I mean, it's actually quite good. I mean, you're the first one sort of to, obviously, where this bringing it up, really. But the drinking culture with it in karate is a problem, I think.
The same on pilots.
Oh, really?
It's a problem in our culture. It's very interesting. When you go to Dubai, they don't drink, but you know where to get beer if you want.
Of course, yeah.
And everything's a little more smoother. I mean, they have other problems, but alcohol could be nice if you enjoy it, but you have to find where the border is.
Yeah.
Like anything, there's a time, place, and there's an amount.
Right. And now, extremely in Germany, the drugs are free. A lot of people, that's good, that's liberation. Okay, for adults, okay, you're responsible for yourself.
Yeah, but
but what is the reality? The kids, the younger ones, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I didn't realise that was going on in Germany, actually. So
extreme.
Is that becoming a problem now, do you see? Is it?
I tell you one short story. It was at the Neumarkt in Cologne. Cologne is a beautiful city, very, very open. Most homosexuals in Germany live in Cologne, so it's a very open city. And I was at Neumarkt. There is a tram, a lot of kids playing. It was Saturday morning, and I was buying trousers. What is fast? Men buying trousers. Give me trouser. What size trouser? What color? Trouser, please. No, fast. So I went to the shop, and people were dealing drugs. I came back, again drugs, kids around. I focused them. I looked on them. They focused back. Called the police. I said, what is happening here? They said, well, that's normal. It's Neumarkt. I said, no, that's Ebertplatz. No, Ebertplatz is only for weed and soft drugs. Neumarkt is for the real one, heroin and so on. Yeah. I say, it's Saturday morning on a sunny day. You're right. And we police, we responsible. We come, we look for them. But after 1 hour, the court will get them free. Are we crazy?
Yeah.
Are we crazy? Can't we find places to keep them? They're sick. Places where they can, like a park for them, but keep them off. I mean, it's a real big problem, but that's and policemen in Germany, they don't earn that much money. So sometimes they live not in the center of the city because it's too expensive. They have a horrible job. They have really horrible job. And then the court is getting these people free.
Yeah.
Different in Bavaria. That's very interesting. A lot of people don't like Bavaria. They're too tough. In Bavaria, they can put them to jail for 3 days. That helps. My daughter is now my elder daughter. She just finished studying international-wise. She has a first job in Munich, and she said, Daddy, the first city I'm really feeling safe in Germany is Munich. Doesn't matter what time, it's safe. Even the homeless people are friendly in Munich. And it's really like this. An aunt of mine is living there. And this is something we have to be careful. I mean, you have the same in the UK. You have cities, part of them are very good. In France, you have the Bordeaux. The city is so beautiful. Outside there is a ring, dangerous.
Or the suburbs.
Yeah, suburbs, like Paris and Marseille.
Yeah.
But usually, that was the beginning of the big boom of karate. It was Bruce Lee, it were the movies, and it was the willing to protection. So now we have a time where protection is really neat.
Yeah.
So we should work on that modernness and bring the people from this to a life guiding way, karate do. I myself say JKA karate, but it's also ISKF karate, and this federation is just for infrastructure.
Do you think that we'd ever see? We were talking to Sensei Aidan Trimble last night, and do you think we'll ever see maybe a tournament or something like that where everybody could enter and coexist, or do you think that's just too much?
Or do you see some good karate with that?
I think that's a problem. That will happen in Germany. I hope not. I hope I can help someone. I don't want any job in the German Federation. People will think that they're crazy. I love to travel. I love to fly planes. I love my life. I love to train and teach karate and teach business for Budo. But I don't want any position. I can help as an advisor. But if we don't find a way to bring the German federations together or to build an umbrella to work together, if there's discrimination on and on and on, then the people will, after Ochi-sensei will go to heaven, then they will go to the WKF. And what will happen, that most of the young people, they see the national squad. And the national squad is fighting WKF.
Yeah.
What is totally different, it's not bad, but it's totally different. These Tsukis, they won't kill you. No. And the kata is a beautiful circus. When I see their bunkai, I shut off the TV. It's their thing. If they like it, it's okay. But it's not my thing. It's not my thing. My thing is, as long as I live, to build up one technique that can stop a fight. Hopefully, I never have to use that. Yeah. Otherwise, I should just throw my belt away.
Did you watch the karate that was at the Olympics? When it was at the Olympics?
Yes, and the German got a really bad hurt. I don't know if you saw that. Michael Horn, his elbow was terrible. I saw it, yeah.
But what just like you said, I usually say, I do have, those athletes, they train.
They're well trained. They're better. Sometimes they're better trained than we are. Yeah. For example, the JKA World Champion in Ireland. He's JKA, but he fights in the Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Tough guy, but they're physical. They're fit. This is one lack in our karate. We have two less people being physical fit.
Yeah,
we have to be physical.
But this is where you first was mentioned about back in the day when you was training coup grades. You were still doing the cardio and the weightlifting.
Yes.
So that wasn't really a big thing here.
And even bantam.
That's only just been a recent thing where you're incorporating other training to help you.
But if you do in the oiseki 200 times, it's like weightlifting too.
Yeah.
If you have a deep stance, you do something for your legs. It has not to... Yeah. Why not using the modern system?
Yeah.
But the problem is that we don't make 5 Suki. We sometimes go to 3. Ichi-ni-san, Mawate. Ichi-ni-san, Mawate. Why? When I made my last exam, I was really nervous. I was really, really nervous. And we were 32 people, and I think 8 or 9 passed.
Yeah.
That was tough. They're not always like this. Political things. But that's not important. The test was for myself.
Yes.
It was only for, it was my personal thing. It was my personal thing. And there's one thing that maybe Olympics, I'm against the Olympics, totally against it. But there's one thing when we think very, very open. A lot of people look karate and see sports karate. They go in that town and look where's karate. They don't know the difference. And if they see then a club of our traditional karate, maybe they come to us. This is the only thing. But on the other hand, it's, in my opinion, it's a little bit of wasting time because you do it till 28, 29, 30, 32, you stop. You stop. There are only few who do it all. But everybody should be free to do what they want.
Yeah.
We have to give the people the choice. It's your choice. And Kiskili, I don't know if you know Kiskili. He was in the old squad in the 70s or 80s. He's from Finland, German, big guy, really big guy. On seminars, he was standing like this, hit me. And he said always in a very funny German, Karate muss Spaß machen. Karate has to be fun. Tough, but it has to be fun.
Yeah.
Well, for many, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hobby. They have jobs, they have family. Yeah. They come out. What I in my dojo, what I always tried, I said, how to get people out of the day, out of the problems. I said, okay, Buksemi, I say, okay, you decided now to spend 1 hour or 1.5. It's your time. It's not mine. It's your time. What comes out of this hour is your decision. As soon as you train harder and harder, as more you're going to forget the day and you're going to feel free. This is, for example, something similar to flying. When you're a pilot, you have so many checklists. You're permanent concentrating. And as older you get, more hard it is. When I come back from a short flight, my wife said, you're a totally different person because you're absolutely relaxed. Same on karate. When you get a real tough class, not injured, hopefully. But I wrote an article. A lot of people loved it, and a lot of people were arguing. Oh no, you can't write that. I said, gesunde Härte, healthy toughness.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for the ones who decide to make a real life, the period of tournament is a period.
Yeah.
It helps. It would be, but you have not to, but it helps a lot. People who say I do only kata and they do not karate. You have to do all the three, kyo and kata kumite. And injury is normal. But you have to know how tough. If the injury is stopping someone to do karate, it's negative. If the injury is leading to a long-term injury, it's negative. But a small touch, something, I have to take care of my head, mubobi, it can help. It's very, I don't know the English word for it. It's on the, you know?
Yeah, on the line.
On the line. You have to be very careful, very, very careful. I love, meanwhile, Makibara. I really love it because it gives you really the feeling.
Yes, but like you're saying now, it was quite funny. I posted to the podcast. I think it was on the podcast Facebook page. Seemed to get most of the heat, but it was Richard Amos Sensei had, in his chat. I mean, out of nearly 3 hours interview, you take a small clip. And he was saying that in his association they don't wear mitts. Is back to being just the bare knuckle. And he was saying he's an advocate for the bare knuckle. He says teaching control, and me personally, I prefer it that way. Like if you had the no mitts.
I love gloves. I really love them in winter when it's snowing. Otherwise.
I mean, even the ones we used, like when we were with the JKA, the ones I had some.
It's the beginning.
I had the very, very, very small.
Yeah,
very
but it's the beginning. It's the beginning of losing the focus. Because what is happening? What is Jörg has Parkinson's? Nobody knows why. But the box hit, it's always to your head. Always to your head. A good tsuke is just destroying. Just stops here, bleeding, maybe that's it. So I think better. Okay, you have a job, you have to look good, you can't do it. I remember I was working for Suzuki Germany that time. I was working with 2 blue eyes. My boss was not happy, but it was okay. You have to be careful. People have jobs, they have to feed their family, okay. But there are a lot of people who want to do kumite, and I think you have to get the touch feeling. You have to feel
But I mean, even like when I was first started, I mean, when I was younger and started karate at 5-6 years old, I mean, I didn't even know anything. Maybe seeing it on like some films or something about Makiwara, and it wasn't until I think like just before COVID, I researched and made my own. I have one in the garden. Have one in the garden, and it is like good to use. Like even in the club now, we will use.
I mean,
like the shields and
we'll get the pads out.
The pads, and so they can fit like
for kids. Good for kids. Richard Amos. I mean, he worked with Yara, and I like to have an open view, because when I get older, it's usually open. And I love JK. It's my family. I really love it, but I want to be open. So I went to Turin. From Murat Sensei, I got the connection. I went to Turin, I saw Yara. I saw Tanaka. I trained a lot of time with Tanaka. I was in love. And Yara, for me, it was, what is this? So the first thing is, there were like 150 people in the class. The old ones were fit. The old ones were fit. Nearly nobody was not fit. Then he let Otsuka Sensei and I think that was not Murat. I think Karim from Paris. They made that kumite jump, flip. Amazing, great. Suddenly Yara said, stop. I'm not allowed. He had 7 operations on his back. 7. And he's like very thin. And he showed something. And my eyes fell out. Now, this year, I asked, I don't tell the name official here, but I asked one JK instructor, I want to go to Yara's dojo. Oh, go. Not problems. No, he's JKA. He was JKA instructor. So I went there. Funny story. So I looked what to do. I made so many mistakes in Japan. The first 10 times I was there, every year was getting a little bit better about the culture. I was a young guy. So I bought some chocolate, because I knew Yara likes chocolate, Belgian chocolate, and for Otsuka, Belgian chocolate. So I went in with Jean-Pierre from France, and Otsuka also gave him the chocolate. He came to Jean Martin, come. Yara wants to say hello. Because Murat from Algeria told him that I'm going to come. And then I went out, and Otsuka came to me and wants to give me back the chocolate. I said, that's your chocolate. But I got special chocolate for Yara. A little bit bigger, the package. A little bit bigger. And very important, Japan, how it's packed. How it's packed is maybe more important what is inside. And you never get a feedback. They will never tell you if they like it. That's the culture. So Otsuka started the training. It's the home dojo of KWF. There were only like 18, 20 people. But in JKF, sometimes there were only 18, 20 people in the class. All the old ones were fast and fit. People in my age, over 60, I was not in that condition I'm now. I was still in the growing up. Damn, they are fast. And suddenly Yara Sensei came in civil class to stop it. And then he explained some things. And there are a lot of rumors about the past. He has 600 employees. He's working for the Japanese government in security. So he's very wealthy, and he's now calm. So the calmness of an old sensei, Shihan, I don't know really the difference. I always say sensei to everybody. And he explained something. Fantastic. Then he went out, then he came again. You saw, he was, I have to. And they put out a heavy bag. And it was a really heavy bag. And he said, Otsuka, come on. And he went forward, oizuki. Back, tenzukis. Forward, down. Back, turn around, what they do very often. Turn around, slip down. And he hit that leather thing like hell. Really, I said, wow. Otsuka, I think, is like 45. Like hell. Yara said there, you're high. Weak. And later, in the evening, he had to work after that. He came to the restaurant. Beautiful discussion, beautiful talk. He asked me about the automotive industry because he knows I work there. And I asked him, Yara Sensei, may I ask? Please ask. I say, Yara Sensei, what kind of car you drive? I'm sorry, I have to drive. He knows I work for Volkswagen. I have to drive the Mercedes S-Class. But I like more my Bentley. but in a calm way, not arrogant. Just a very calm way. And I remember I was in Italy with my wife, and after the training, Karim from Paris called me. Karim is originally from Morocco, and he called me. Martin, you have to come. I said, Karim, I have sometimes problems with my wife because I'm always away. I'm now here with her drinking some cappuccino and shopping. No, you have to come. Karim, what? Yara said, okay, Us. And then we were for dinner, 20 people. He invited. It was so familiar. He knows I'm JKA, he's KWF. It was just family.
But isn't, again, like what we've spoke about, earlier, that's what it should be about.
Yeah. I understand when they split. I don't know if you saw. I made with AI. I made a picture a couple of weeks ago with different cakes.
Yes,
how it divided.
Yes, I shared it. Yeah,
I tried to make one picture what explains everything. And the more we divide, the less we get. People think we divide, we get more. I understand that professionals, what takes a lot of thinking and freedom and thinking, they have to look for money. It's hard to live from karate, very hard. It's easy when you have a job.
Yeah,
it's not so easy because you have the job maybe 60 hours a week plus karate. The other one's doing not karate. So I think no, both is hard. But you have to make compromises. I understand. But on the other way, all that splitting is going the wrong direction. And I love the Dojo Kun. I'm spelling it in Japanese really terrible. I love it. But it's a way of living. And everybody's doing mistakes. I made so many mistakes. You know my mistakes, you see them here. Flat nose. Every human being is doing mistakes. But you got the chance to do good things after the mistakes.
Yeah.
And your generation, I'm too old. No, but we together, I think we can try, always try, like karate, always try. Maybe it's not working. Maybe they say we're crazy. Always try to stay together. Maybe fight, have our discussion, but after that, coming together. The same in my team. The beautiful, I have a lot of great teams, and I learned so much. My last job was in Berlin. And we have altogether 14 and 7 regions, and we went down to 3. So we were taking care of the deals with 850 people. At the end, it was 140, everything reduced. And my team, East Germany, different people, they came from different parts, and they were different groups. So for the first time, I didn't say to them, Sie, you know, Sie, German Sie.
Yeah, okay.
I said, please, you. And I said, we're all equal. I'm an old guy, but let's have fun together. And we can fight. We fight in here, we fight very tough. But if we go out of this room, we have one voice, please. Then for every meeting, we had sandwiches. And they had 6 bosses in 10 years. And it took 1.5 years. And that team was so dreamless. We still have contact. So dreamless because only trust. I have learned from them so much. And I remember one thing, it has something to do with karate because it's motivation. We were in all numbers, number 1, East number 1. I love being number 1. You know? Like Jörg says, my friend Jörg, what's the Parkinson now? Jörg says, number 2 is the first loser. And I said, we are not number 1 in tires. So if you bring me that and that orders, and not the normal ones, extra orders, till Friday, we're going to have a meeting in Bavaria, and I pay the drinks. Not the food, but I pay the drinks. Friday afternoon, 5:30, one of the inside sitting man in the office, he called me. Friday afternoon, 6 o'clock or 5:30 at Volkswagen? Impossible. Nobody's working there. Nobody. He called me. Martin, I said, Thomas, what's going on? Something happened? No, but look for a new bank. What do you mean? Oh, they made 300% of your target. Oh. And then we had the meeting. Nobody was drunk. It was expensive. They drank a lot, but they were not drunk. But the team was sitting together and discussing. And that leads me to that when I told you, Jürgen, after the training, drink together. Nobody drinks one bit before everybody's on the table. And this can be so beautiful. And I love this now doing in karate, and I love doing it also. I try to combine Budo with my job because we have a big problem in Germany, find good employees.
Yeah.
When you go in restaurants in Italy or somewhere else, most of them are from foreign countries because some of the Germans don't want to do the hard jobs, you know? So first getting new employees, the same in the dojo, getting new people. And the other thing is binding the old ones because it's a lot more expensive and a lot more intensive on time to get new ones. You spend money on marketing, you have to talk to them, you have to explain the parents again. But to find the solution to keep them, why are they 14 and they want to leave? Because it's normal with 14. All young guys want to leave with 14. It's normal. But maybe there is a way to keep them. And this can be lovely. My first teacher said, you have to instruct 100 that one stays for life.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make it up to 2. Maybe.
If you could change like even just one thing with like modern karate organizations, what would that be?
The question would be easier if you asked me about one thing in technique on if it would be possible to make one time a year a secret meeting of the heads of all traditional federation, maybe 2 persons. On my opinion, one should be a woman. What is totally strange for karate world. If they meet, just a small beginning. We had that in Philadelphia. They tried it with ISKF and JKA. That could be a start. Because I think if we have to combine this political wise, we have to do it from down, from people, and from up too. Because in Germany we say the fish is always stinking from the head. And I think there is a possibility doing that. It's a hard job, but it can be done because everybody could win. We have to reduce the ego a little bit, political things, money things. There are also bad people. Not everybody's good. And I understand people who are older say, no, I don't want to talk to that person. One step back.
Do you think even, it would even be possible to see like a collaboration of, you would have, there could be a course or something, seminar where you have a JK instructor, a JKS instructor, a KWF instructor, or
Sometimes you have it in secret.
Ochi
Sensei has a lot of. He has the hand above. We have in Germany. We have seminars KWF and JK together, very secret, and only that one person is allowed to do that. So, in some countries it's happening, in other countries not happening.
But without it being secret,
right? Without being a secret,
because the world will end. The world will end.
In Germany, they ask why that can be. In one federation, in Germany, they reduce the numbers of instructors they can be invited from Japan. If I go now to Gashuko, I go to Belgium, I go to Czech Republic, I go to the small Netherlands. Tamara and her brother, it's just a small federation, but they make a Gashuko, I think, with 6 or 7 Japanese instructors.
I've seen that, yeah.
So you're not paying a lot. They're coming 300, 400 people, that pays everything, but you got knowledge and people. I mean, it's crazy. You have a bad karateka, and he's looking like this. The class is full. That's human being. In Germany, it's like this.
Yeah.
In Germany, it's this. But they're good, and we have a lot of good instructors. Why not working together? I love the classes of Richard Amos.
Yeah.
I totally love Kawasaki Sensei. What maybe come to Europe again? I love it. He was with Yahara and he was nearly stopped karate because he was hurt very much. And he said, I start my own thing. Old karate, he calls it. He started with 0. All his dojo is his own students. There's only one person from outside. All they started with him a white belt. And I was there a couple of times, and one time they make an opening in January. Everybody of the dojo has to make a kata or demonstration. Everybody. Kid up to 80 years. And after that, everybody has to make a break test. And then there's a party. You come in this dojo, it's in a sports hall, but wooden floor. And you come inside, you get the feeling of family.
Yeah.
You get the same in my job. If you come to a dealership, the first moment you go inside, you feel if there's a good feeling, if the employees like each other or not. 2 minutes, you feel it. In a restaurant, the same. You don't. At the latest, you see it in the toilet if it's clean or not. But you feel it. You feel the atmosphere. Same on a karate dojo. I had a lot of dojos visiting. I loved the most where you were afraid before the training.
Yeah.
Horst Handel in Cologne. You were a little bit. You went to the toilet before the training because you were nervous. You don't know what happened. Nothing happened. Maybe a small injury, but you were. But that spirit. That's where we have to work on. I myself work on one technique. Don't tell you which one because it's too weak. That's my goal. I want to be able to destroy with one technique, to stop, not destroy, to stop. But we should get stronger, intensive, slowly, very slowly, with a lot of responsibility. But we have to get tougher. Otherwise, we're going to lose members.
Yeah.
People want that. People want a little bit toughness. And if you have a black belt and it's just a nice belt, you can go to the shop and buy the 15s Dan.
You look at half the black belts that you've probably seen in the past, they wouldn't last 2 seconds.
Right.
In the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You go in the wrong city, in wrong place of the city. There are people who have no belt, but they know damn how to fight.
Yeah.
And this is one thing where they're used to get hit.
Yeah.
Fight on after being hit. That's it. It's not stopping. The street is not stopping. There's no yame. There's no yame. There's no yame. There's no chui. No. And even there's maybe no stop. You lying on the floor.
Yeah.
So how you protect yourself on the floor? What you do? You know, when I did judo, what helped me a lot in judo is the flying. How you say it in English?
To
fall school.
To fall. Yeah.
And a lot of the time now, there's no open hand either. There's all other stuff involved, you know.
Yeah, knives.
Yeah.
Germany, extremely knives. Everybody has a knife.
Yeah, the same.
I was nearly robbed. The first and only time in my life was nearly robbed 3 years ago in Berlin. It was close to midnight. I arrived from Cologne, what is like 600 kilometers. That was my normal working day, Monday morning. I repacked my car, and there came a young guy from somewhere in Morocco, I don't know where. And he moved up, and he was shouting in this. And I focused him, because I always do. I focused him. And he stopped, took out a knife, give me your money. I said, no. Money, knife. I said, no. I had my working bag here. And I said, sorry, don't do it. I'm doing karate, stop it. Not legal-wise, I didn't think, my mind just worked. Okay, but next time you don't focus me. And he went away. The moment he went away, I was shaking like this. Yeah. I was shaking like this. So I went in the car. I looked for him. I found him. I make pictures. Police were there 5 minutes. Criminal police 30 minutes later. 1 week later, I was at the police station, and I watched 330 people, all the same age, all the same area coming from, times 4 pictures, 1,200 pictures. I found the guy, plus 2 looking similar. 2 weeks later, there came a letter. Oh, legal case is stopped. So,
crazy.
But that's a chance. Self-defense on karate, especially in our karate, is, you go direction of the thumb or easy. Yeah, you know you can, like Hayan Sanda. You're out, easy. Yeah, just him. You go inside. Then you do with the elbow. So we got enough things. We don't have to do jiu-jitsu. We have enough techniques in our karate to teach people to protect themselves.
Yeah. I mean, do you? Because I've always had a bit of a problem with like bunkai and things, because you get a lot of instructors say and you know, and they speak with like a lot of confidence, I would say, to say that, but this is how it would work in the street. And I think usually when it gets to that point, my mind just
some of it's bullshit, isn't it?
Sort of switches off, because I just think if you're talking about how the movement in the kata can be used, as in just again in normal karate techniques, I would say, yeah, that would be. But then when you're talking about somebody, again, yeah, if they've got a knife, if they're swinging at, if they're swinging
knife is
at
terrible.
you,
Always
like,
get away as fast as you
can. We tell the kids here, if like anyone pulls a knife, you run away.
But what I really hate the counts in JK, because I'm too lazy. You know, technique number 22 on this is because Ochisen never taught us. So I have to work now on that for my license. Hard job. My brain old. I love it what JK is doing. Why? In Germany we have the TÜV. What means if you register a car, you have to go there, I think, all 2 years. There are companies like SKS or the standards.
Yeah.
When you have a standard, you can approve it worldwide. That's the standard. The standard helps. You need where to look to. So I think the idea of a standard, of teaching a standard like JKA, also in Bunkai, is a good thing. But as older you get, you have to think free. Self-defense is free thinking. And okay, it helps, especially for lower belts, it helps a lot. And okay, we should know it for the exams. Damn, I'm lazy, especially on paperwork. But also, you should know what works. It has to work. It has to work. And if someone is attacking my wife or me, I just want to stop him. And if there are 3 or 4, the old rule, take the strongest one first. Because people on the street, they come from poor families, they have a hard life, but they grew up fighting every day. So how often do we fight? How often do we do Geo-Committee? How often do we do tough Geo-Committee? When I was up till brown belt, only 3 years, but no, up to Nidan, every year I was disqualified. Every year, every championship I was disqualified because I was too dumb. Someone hit me, then it made inside boom, and I knocked him out. It took years, really years.
Sounds a bit like you, mate.
Took years to change that. And I was very happy. The last World Championship I competed was in Paris, and Ochisen, they took me to the committee team. That was a big honor. I know I wouldn't win anything, but it was a big honor to me, not being that damn Kata guy.
But yeah, I mean, which one was did you have like looking back, did you have a favourite of like the tournaments that you went to that you really mean a lot to you?
I won 2 times the JKA Cup in the senior division. That time it was above 30. Now it's above 35 in Kata. So 2 times with Gushio. And after that year, I told you with the blood in my head, I went to the final, and I was really good trained with Gushio Dai. But I have there's no,
like
from
bone,
birth,
bone on bone, yeah.
So I shaked on Dai and I got 3rd. Damn. But these 2 times first place for me was a big gift. Big gift.
Go on.
But that was one thing. What is my natural? I love doing things. What is making me sometimes weak? Because if you work hard, plus being a pilot, plus driving motorbikes, plus doing karate, it's hard to focus on one thing only. If I would do only karate, maybe I would gain more medals. But I love it the way I do it. It's my life, and I say, wow, when people focus on one thing. Like in Germany, we have one girl from Bonn. She got a couple of times European champion. She went to Japan by her own cost for a long, long time. So focusing. You know, two things, job and that. Great, not my way of life. I love biking too.
Yeah, me too.
And if you're ever in Japan, rent a bike. It's easy. They translate your license. Takes 5-6 days. Cost not even €10. It's cheaper than here, and you can rent BMW, Kawasaki, whatever you want.
You need a bike license first, yeah?
Yeah, you need. I mean, the big bike.
Yeah.
But driving a bike in Japan, in Tokyo, it's like Tokyo Drift. You know the movie.
Yeah.
So you're down, then you up on the bridge. It's crazy. And the countryside. When I was with Hirayama the first time on Mount Fuji, I really thought that this is not natural. This is painted. It's so the colors, the different greens, or in March, April, the cherry blossom.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
And I was wanting to, obviously, with you going to Japan and like we were discussing before the podcast, I was wondering, how did you meet our mutual friend, Richard Hasselton? How did you first meet him?
Oh, when I was first time in Japan, Ogura Sensei and Takashi Sensei took care of me, and I was training also at Taisho University, Ida Sensei. But then I very early went to Naka Sensei because I'm older than him, and Naka was at that time already a brilliant instructor, and Richard was there. And after training, we went to a restaurant to a very good friend of Naka Sensei who sadly passed away a couple of years later by heart attack. And Richard was always there. Richard was a tough guy, big time. And I don't know why. It's off nap to my left. I just saw him. I liked him.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of some small talks, deep talks, and I always thought
He's got very deep, deep
very
thinking
deep,
brain,
very
yeah.
deep, very deep, very intelligent, and I always say, I'm such a weak guy. Why he's talking with me? But he said he respected me also. We were together. I was together with his wife and his kids one evening, and we're gonna meet in July. I met him
Nice.
in March, and he had a hard time because his parents passed away. Very hard time. He's now a professor. He got one more new thing, what I won't say on because it's private, but he's so deep. He's so deep, and I talked to Don Sharp. Don't be mad about me. Talked to Don Sharp, and Don said, yes, when I was world champion in Osaka, 96, Kokobun hit me. Okay, it was just blood, everything okay.
That was such a beautiful technique as well. Sorry, I mean, again, no disrespect to Don, but like that technique Kokobun was using was.
Yeah, but it was too hard. Yeah, so Don was, and Don is a tough guy. Wow, strong,
big guy.
And the fight was Richard. Richard knocked him out by Marashige.
Yeah.
He said I was 5 minutes away, but after that I didn't know where I am, who I am. I think Richard saw the time and he knew I couldn't win that fight, and he just knocked him out. Maybe, I don't know. But Richard is a samurai.
Yeah.
There's one movie about his training sessions on YouTube.
Yes, yeah.
Where you can see how he's trained, and that's him. And he's a calm person, family father, professor. Left home with nothing, went over to Japan at a time where it was not as easy as today. We're gaijin. I mean, you're still gaijin, but that time was more gaijin than today. And Richard, for me, is just a role model.
Maybe you need to twist his arm to come on the podcast.
Oh.
we keep talking.
Yeah, I think maybe he will do that.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
But, he's
Brilliant. Because everything what he's doing is fast and strong and kime, and he's using the modern training methods.
Yeah.
He said to me that time, I don't have. He was responsible for takushoku as a gaijin, being responsible.
He was
for
captain.
He was captain.
Captain 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. And he said, I don't have the time anymore. I sometimes go, but he said, I most of the time like to train myself.
Yeah.
I was with him October 24. Well, I went over there and was at the championships, and we was chatting. Anyway, the Japan team are on there. They're practicing. And a couple of them clicked on that Richard was up there, and I was just chatting to him, and he looked, and the whole team was giving him a deep bow.
He, as I know, he was invited to get a JKA instructor, but he said it's too late. He was already in his profession. He has family. He is a brilliant instructor.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant instructor. Maybe we work together and we get him for a course in UK and Germany. Just a round course. I got a trick. We invite his wife for the opera.
Okay.
Because if you got the wife and the kids,
there you go. Whereas that would be my dream for him to come and teach in the UK.
Richard is amazing, amazing human being.
Yeah.
You met someone, you talk maybe only 2 minutes or 2 hours, and you
There's some magnetism
magnetic,
about there,
and it's a gift. It's just a gift for your life.
But that fight you were talking about, so I was in that team like in Thailand then, and we'd arranged the order of the fighters, and we thought like fielding really like two of the strongest fighters going first. So we had a friend of mine called Nick. He went out. He lost. The guy just got the better of him, which I think we were surprised because he was strong. And then Richard went out. I thought, okay, Richard. But then we saw he was against Don Sharp, so this is not going to be. Yeah, it wasn't going to be easy. Then Richard goes, I was number 3, so everybody's like, you better win, Chris. And it was just like the pressure. That was like the first time I'd ever fought internationally, and it was just like, oh yeah, no pressure.
If you lose,
it was a beautiful fight because Don Sharp, I made 2 years ago class with Don. He made the class online, so he made a class with his in his dojo, with also modern things like lifting these things, balls, running around, and I made it online with my mobile phone, with bicycling, and he's very well trained and he's technical, very good technical. So the fight between Richard and him was great, and I really hope this year or next year to one of the seminars I go to Canada and visit Don.
Yeah, he's a tall guy.
Him
and Richard, because they were both, I thought, both very tall, very physical. Yeah, but again, this like we're talking about these people, like that you meet in karate. It's just full of characters, isn't it? Yeah. Karate.
Yeah.
And so many interesting people.
Absolutely. That was the gift on Karate at Home.
Yeah.
And I remember one time one of my former students called me, how can that person teach? Because the person maybe was technically not the good. I said, please call me again tomorrow after you thought about what you said. Because the person who taught maybe was technically not the best, but what the person brought into the group, what she focused on was beautiful. It was beautiful. I mean, a lot of dojos have the problem, they get purple belts in the front. It's the personality. It's a personality what gives, and that's especially if the personality of the teacher is good, the dojo's full of.
Well, how many courses have you been where you can't remember what you've done? But the personalities, that's what you remember, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And then everything else you can click
absolutely.
on.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's it's the personalities, but I think as well, I feel that in some instances that as well, that karate certainly, again, I felt when we were JK England, and this isn't like anything really directed at them in a real negative way, because I think it must happen in other associations as well. But it was like, say, you've seen the drive. You've come from London. You drove up from London today. It's a long way. Like, I know you said like when we talked,
and I had to drive the wrong side.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
But it's so
you
took
like crash.
So you quite a long. It's quite a long distance to go, but like by car and things. And if you want to be involved in your country's squad or anything like that, I think the financial burden is is quite great on people, especially if you know karate is for all. But I do feel that like karate in a way is becoming a little bit for people who've got a bit of money, if you want to be like on sometimes at that, you know, at that squad level, because again, that financial commitment is.
I think if you go to the squad level, very often it's the parents supporting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
And the parents did karate too very often.
Yes.
Too. But if you compare it with other, that's hard to compare because we're not doing sport, we're doing art. Yeah, same. If you compare it with other arts, they're a lot more expensive.
Yes.
If you go to a management seminar, you know how much you pay? How much you pay for a karate seminar? Karate is still an affordable.
But compared to, say, other sports, say you're at your top level in a different sport, you're going to get funded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a problem. When I made too many mistakes because I was thinking in my job in the German Federation, and I knew that time. Today I know I have to explain more what I think. I had a couple of personal coaches at Volkswagen. One said, "You're too fast. You're too fast." You know, change management, the curve. You have a hockey stick. You know the hockey stick.
Yeah.
The hockey stick says you change something, so the people say, "Oh no, never works." And then maybe yes. And then they say, "Oh, it's good." And the biggest problem is that the leader thinks we're already here and the team is still here. This is the biggest conflict. Same in karate. So communication. And I made the mistake, I didn't communicate too much. I had just the goal, 25,000 members, 25% stronger, best judges, best instructors, beat Japan in 5 years. If we number 2 in 5 years, doesn't matter. Number 3 doesn't matter, but the way to this. And I forced too much. That's why they kicked me out. Plus, some people thought I'm ruling their thing. I didn't want to ruin anybody. I don't need any money from karate. No. I'm working on the other way, long and hard and 60, 70 hours. But the more people the federation has, the more people you can feed. So if the federations build up, if they don't discriminate, of course you have sometimes to stop people because they're rude or they're doing things wrong. But why not go into the discussion? I mean, very simple thing. If I ask you what you see, okay, it's a green wall, it's easy. But if I ask you, you would say a microphone. I say maybe no, I see close. Who is right? It's a perspective.
Yeah.
We both have right.
Yeah.
So and I know you had to leave or you left. Why not waiting a couple of time till the fog is gone and go one small step further again? If we don't come together, our group of traditional karate is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I have no problem with getting smaller. I mean, I myself, I don't care. I love my life. I live it. I hope the next deep valley is not coming too fast, because when I'm feeling good, I know it will come sometimes. I think we should work on building up, on development, on going back one step in our ego.
Yeah.
Going one step in our ego. Be proud of what we've achieved, but then say, oh, thank you, whatever you believe in, thank you, you helped. Because everybody makes mistakes in life. And forget the ego and come closer together. Maybe in different federations, why not? But then I have very often to talk about politics. And people say, no, I don't like politics. I don't like karate politics. I want to teach. I want to be national coach. I want that. Okay. But if nobody of the good karatekas wants to make politics, then the bad guy's making politics.
Yeah.
So it's human being, and you have to be involved. And this is especially what you're doing here. This is also kind of politics. It's because you let the people speak.
Oh yes,
you let the people speak.
You're letting the information be heard, aren't you, from individuals?
But yeah, I mean, we don't. I'd like to think, yes, like we are talking about politics, and I don't usually like to bring it up, but it's like the elephant in the room with like most karate governing bodies, associations. Like I never cared. Like if someone is again,
Doesn't
the
matter.
letters I can think, JKS, this one, whoever. I don't care. Like honestly, I'm like,
right.
cool. You're doing what you're doing. We're doing what we're doing.
Yes.
Like I would openly love to see if there was like collaboration, and you could, if you could have instructors from different associations and even do something together. Even when we had Matt Price since he come to the dojo, or Scott
We didn't
Langley.
talk about him. He's a great guy. Great guy.
But even like with Matt, with Richard Amos, with whoever, like with Sensei Bobbers, whoever we've had like come and teach here at the dojo, they will get in front of everyone and go, look, always, listen to what your instructor tells you and says, but I'm just here and I'm going to show you like what I do or what we do. And if you take something from it, you do. If you don't, you don't. And it's not like what I'm doing is, they're not pontificating. They're not trying to put like,
if
anything.
possible, do it in the class of the instructor like he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But borders and discrimination is a good thing as long as you do it 100% like North Korea. So if we make the border that high,
Yeah.
and if we discriminate like really like North Korea, then it works. But all the other is negative. It's not karate do. It's not the dojo.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. It's absolutely opposite. The same is like, oh, sensei, shian. I like sensei is a sensei in the dojo.
Yes. Yeah.
Outside, I'm Martin, please.
Yeah.
Please. If you are unrespectful, I tell you. I'm adult enough to tell you, please stop. Not too far. But, I mean, that's how we should work together. Then we can grow. Otherwise, group by group, cake by cake, more cakes, smaller cakes, at the end, what comes?
Yeah.
And other federations, like WKF or other sports, they're just laughing about us.
Yeah.
The government has, for example, £1 to give.
Yeah.
So how we work, we see how much we get from it.
Well, with you trying to move away from the politics a little bit, but
Let's leave it.
we'll leave it. Yeah. So obviously we were talking about karate at home and everything, and obviously you said health issues, and you've had health issues and things, and then it was really nice to see that you're reinvigorated with karate at home, and you've basically relaunched, if you want to call it that, relaunch karate at home. So it's going to be like a regular thing still now too.
Yeah. So first, I hope to get more feedback. I'm still waiting for more feedback to do what the people want.
Yeah.
So my goal on one side is to come to one class a week,
Yeah.
because the main thing is in the dojo till the next pandemic. But one class a week. It should be additional to the dojo training. And I still have to find out, because you have to see what time, what day, because we want to be international.
Of course, yeah.
So the time difference. So one class. Inviting again the old instructors and also inviting new ones. And if someone wants to teach, above, it should be Sandan if possible. But we had also Shodans. If they're good, doesn't matter the belt. If it's a good personality, why not? Why not? I don't care. So restarting, we're gonna make the T-shirts, like branding a little bit. I love the manga style, so it's gonna be a little bit modern, but we keep the old design. We keep the old design because it's just used, and Nadja did it. I have no right to change it.
Yeah.
She would kill me. And I just love the idea. We're now 60,900 people in the community. Very seldom I throw someone out. Only if 2-3 times negative. Very seldom. Let's grow. And I try to visit as much instructors as possible. I would love to go to LA, for example, to Shinzo Mashida.
Yeah. We've both met Shinzo Machida, haven't we? He's what a lovely guy.
He was. I think Australia. He was number 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Vice
Something like that. Yeah.
question. and his brother, the whole family.
Yeah.
One brother is working, I think, for CNN.
Okay.
In a very high position, and they're all karatekas.
Yeah, when we was in Thailand, I think Shinzo Machida was coaching the Brazilian team, and he's quite the tall brother. So I think he's Tak Machida. He was fighting on the team and things. But yeah, lovely guys, really nice guys.
That's something what we didn't talk about. The countries where life is hard, they are strong because people have to fight, like Brazil, Argentina, Chile, not bad.
A lot of the South American countries.
South America, very, very tough. This is a challenge. In Europe, there are some countries where you see them growing, technical wise. Yeah, I love the Czech, my friends everywhere. So
the Czechs, like on social media and everything, they like crushing it at the minute.
They're a very good team. They're a very good team. But I've heard they're gonna focus now a little back from the too much competition.
Yeah.
But they're strong.
Yeah.
And I know when Ochi said they took care of the Czech people very much, because when they came into Europe, they had no money. So they just came by car, they slept in the car, and we not hated them, but when I was in the squad from 94 to 2001, we at least had 2 or 3 fights against Czech a year. Because Ochi said, no, you have to. So, again, Czech. And they were tough that time also. Really tough guys, but nice guys. And they really built up the federation from zero, really good team. Richard is a fantastic chief instructor. And Jana, so Jana is by his side helping him a lot. And it's a good team. They have problems too, but you see, wow, tough, good work, good team, lovely Gashuku. And there are a lot of federations, and there are also, I know also federations where you know there is one king, and you have the king feeling, and that won't last long.
Okay, so yeah, with karate at home, where would you like to see it in sort of a 5 to 10 years? Like, do you think that far ahead, or? If I was just gonna, because I would only say
just do on the way we do. Being traditional plus modern, and looking for a small group who can carry it on when I'm getting older than I'm already. So the next generation, because
values.
And one thing, what I really liked about your podcast, we're working on the same idea. So, are there possibilities of synergy?
Synergy.
Yeah, synergy. I think this is a great chance. This is a really great chance, and also what I thought about Naka, his movies, which we have to think new, be wearing the old, but be modern too. Otherwise, we're gonna lose some people.
Yeah.
And I love doing karate at home. I really love it, and got a couple of more ideas.
Isn't it very innovative? It's very.
I mean, my only concern would be is obviously because it came right at that right time with COVID. I mean,
it was just a gift.
Yeah, and with having that and keeping people positive. I mean, I think a lot of people got extremely tired from doing the Zoom classes. Again, as we did. Well, you went back, doesn't
Yeah.
But yeah. I remember just keeping the same schedule with the dojo, and it was online, and then obviously doing the karate
online
at home.
training should lead the people to the dojo.
Yeah,
that's one of the main things. We spread knowledge, because people come to the dojo. Oh, that teacher did this, and you get a discussion.
Yeah, well, I think that's where you're getting at. Where at the COVID time they've used that.
Yeah.
And now they can get back in the
now
dojo.
they can
Maybe
get
they
back
can
in the
away
dojo.
from that.
Do you think you'll get the same response?
Yeah.
I'm saying, will you get the same response because now?
No.
Now there's other options.
No, but we get other chances. There are other marketing ideas where we can get new ideas. I forgot what I want to say. we still can develop it, and it should help the people. It should help the people, and one of the main goals: bring people together and build up friendship, and then build up friendship by hard training.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And this can work, and we really have no federation borders. If someone don't like it, one time I got a letter from a high instructor. You could call this person like this, but he's only like this. Okay, I fixed it, and I thought myself, the problem is not the younger one, it's the older one, because he's not standing above this. Be open,
Yeah.
be free. Say stop when something's not okay. So not totally open. I mean, we do in karate, friendly.
I suppose another good opportunity for people, what it could be for, is if people aren't allowed to train with other people in set associations, they secretly can with you.
Yeah.
Without anyone knowing,
Yeah,
you know.
That's what I just forgot. I
It's
have
like
to.
a dirty little secret kind of thing.
The world is free, otherwise they look other things.
Yeah.
But we have, I don't know the exact number, but I put the other classes on. We have a couple of 100 units for free on YouTube.
yeah.
They are there.
I always
you can always take them.
use them, yeah.
You remember what I have to do, but I'm too lazy for that. To make how you call that when you open a book and chapter 1, chapter.
Oh yeah.
Contents, index.
Contents. Yeah, we have to make an index so that people know where they find something, because you have to look too long.
Yeah.
And there are too many different things on YouTube, so it's hard to find. There has to be structure. So I need some digital genius who helps me, because I'm the big problem sitting in front of the screen.
Yeah. The digital genius
Here's
is
your
sat
man.
right there.
Like him. Yeah.
But it's, I mean, the Andy that usually sits is the co-host on the podcast usually. I mean, he's become quite actively involved with, I don't know if you've seen it online, but like the Budo Mindset magazine. And I think in the online magazine, they've done like one publication. And I think it's good. People can write in and talk about, again, their karate journeys, the different
This is
things.
the great thing. You doing exactly that what we are not doing. We just do a training and small comments. You go in the deep, and you have a lot of things people tell about their life. Yeah. So this fits perfectly. I wish you all the best, and I hope you go more international.
Oh, we.
So
I mean,
go. On Karate at Home, you see from Nadia a world map.
Yeah.
So with every country, you have instructor make a pin.
Well, obviously the first international one we've had is with Rachel Kata.
Yeah.
Who obviously again was a big contributor at Karate at Home. It was great speaking to her.
She's great.
And just again getting that perspective of someone who's trained in the States,
If you want,
it would be, it is certainly like my goal that I would love to speak to instructors from all over the world,
If you want to, I can ask my instructors.
Okay.
If someday they would be interested in the podcast, then I tell you, and you can decide.
Well, you seem to know everybody, Martin. So if you,
It did start. It started local as a.
Yeah, it was just to speak to the people who'd inspired us. Yeah.
The people being interviewed were just like club level. Yeah. Then it got area level. Then it got national. Now you're international level.
And who did the design?
Oh, for the podcast?
Yeah.
I just used a digital.
Yeah, but who got the idea? I mean, AI is only doing what you feed it.
Oh, me.
Respect.
Thank you.
Respect.
Respect. It's that thing, like you're just trying to reach out, and again, like with being on YouTube or whatever. I mean, again, if you get monetized, or especially like monetized with Spotify, I mean, we all do it because we enjoy it and we love karate, right? Like we're here teaching week in, week out. We're not making fabulous money. It all gets recycled.
But if you sometimes get a little bit money to get your cost back, that's okay. Course. That's okay.
Or even like for buying like new equipment. You can see obviously you can see all the equipment that we need for like the podcast.
I'm doing Karate at Home now for 6 years. I never had such equipment.
But it's, and again, like you're going into something like coming up with this idea, and you're thinking, okay, well, right, we need the best of everything, and then you start looking at the price of the best of everything, and you're like, yeah, that's not going to be possible, you know.
But you had an idea,
yeah,
and you just did it,
yeah.
And I, from the first time, I thought, wow, what's that?
But I saw it would have stemmed from you doing karate at home, to thinking, oh, Martin and Nadia have done that, and in the back of my mind, like, well, I've got this idea of, like, I've always wanted to speak to the people that like inspired me, and then like Sean said, that's grown. But I was sitting on that idea through COVID. I even started buying things like microphones, and just left them there, and was like, we have one microphone, okay, but I'm going to need 4, you know, and then but making that jump to do it. You know, and I think that's like in life, you know. It's. But I can see like what you're doing with Karate Home, and like I'd like to think like what we're doing with the podcast is just this collaboration. It's just talking, hearing people's story, you know, hearing people's stories and seeing like what karate, you know. I mean, I get quite a lot.
We did one mistake. Usually, you should have trained before or after.
Yes, we have done.
It would have been great.
You said that?
To taught a little seminar today.
We had people on as well. We had.
Sometimes we have done it in the past.
We'll invite people for a course, and at the same time we'll marry it with a podcast.
We call Matt or Richard Amos. They should teach us. Huh?
Yeah. I'm sure they would. It's again when we starting out with the podcast. That was a way of like asking a guest to come. You know, could you come and teach for us, and then would you be happy to do the podcast? I think again it's that I'm hoping that with the podcast that people see that it's again, yes, sport karate. We're going about it, sport karate. It's not my cup of tea. I respect what they're doing and everything. It's not my cup of tea. You know, different associations. Cool, we want to speak to you because I want to know how, like, what karate's done for you. You know, like I would like to speak to the sport karate people.
When I saw the interview with the podcast with Rachel, I thought, wow, that's so long. People don't listen that long. Maybe younger ones do, but now we're sitting here over 2 hours. He said,
yeah,
and time was just fluing. Okay, I bored people. Sorry for that, but no. At the end, just thank you for having me. It was really great, and next time I come to your dojo and we train together. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, teach a course for us. That'll be awesome.
Or you teach me. Come on.
Well,
we share.
But before we finish the podcast, we always, if Andy was here, this is like he'd be asking you these questions. It's basically just some fun questions.
I try to get serious.
Like just
quick
short
fast
answers. Yeah. Okay. So, favorite kata.
Jite.
Favorite kata for bunkai.
Jite.
Hardest opponent that you've ever fought.
Michael Ehrenreich in the quarterfinals of the JKA Cup.
Best karate advice you have ever received.
Oh, there are too many. There's one special one. Mrs. Abe, former female instructor. Martin, why are the breathing so loud? Too soft?
One technique every karateka should master.
Oitsuki Churan. Or Oitsuki Joran. Oitsuki. Destroyable Oitsuki.
Biggest mistake beginners make.
I can't answer that. I have to think 2 nights about that. That's too difficult. Okay. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, your favorite technique to use in kumite?
In former times, it was Mawashige and Ushiro Mawashige.
Very nice.
Maybe 2 years again.
One of your favorites there, mate. The best male competitor, past or present, that you have, past or present.
Richard Hazelton.
Best female competitor, past or present.
I'm ashamed not answering fast. I can't decide.
Can't decide.
Everything I say now is wrong.
Okay, so if you had to pick, if we were going to like almost like world level, five person kumite team, you can have men or women, doesn't matter. If you had a 5-person team, who would you need to pick the 5?
My problem is I'm too old. I don't know the young ones, but I would take Richard Hazelton, Don Sharp, Koko Boone, Kobayashi, Nemoto.
Nemoto, yeah. 3-person Kata team, past or present.
Past or present? Osaka Sensei, Ochi Sensei, Izumiya Sensei.
Okay. So, tea or coffee before training?
Coffee.
Coffee. Have you got a favourite post-training meal? If you had like a post after training, if you had to have a meal, like what have you got? Like one that is just the right
spaghetti
one?
carbonara, but with no cream.
With no cream.
There is no cream in it. Never.
The instructor that has had the lasting effect, the most lasting effect on you.
Oh, too many.
You can name a few if you want to name a few.
Uekishian.
Yeah. Your greatest karate achievement to date, rather than ruling anything else out in the future.
Last exam.
Yeah.
Last exam. It was the greatest experience after a couple of valleys and hills.
Your favorite karate moment?
Now I tell you my famous sentence I always share with Richard Hessel. The best has yet to come.
Yeah. A student who has made you laugh the most.
I think Emanuel Bischegli.
Okay, we'll go with that. And finally, if you weren't doing karate, if you hadn't found karate, do you think you'd have found anything else?
Of course. Maybe more flying.
No.
And now I tell you one last secret. You know how to get a millionaire by flying private planes? You have to have 2 million before.
Well,
the damn gas is so expensive. No, karate. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Very tough. But I don't know. Life is so great. The more I know, how is it said? The more I know, the less I know. Or something like that. The more you see, the less you know. The more you see, the less you know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you ever so much for being on the podcast, Martin.
I thank you for having me very much.
Really appreciate you taking the time to come here.
No problem.
Thank you.
Pleasure.